This is a KETK News Weather Alert.
Hi everyone, and good Tuesday evening to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Marcus Bagwell. We're getting ready for what will be probably an active day as we move into our Wednesday. Strong to severe thunderstorms looking to be possible here in East Texas. And what we wanted to do tonight is give you a digital stream, an update on what's to come as we move through the next several hours, especially as we go into tomorrow. We'll take a look at some of the storm parameters, some of the things that we just don't necessarily show you in our newscast, but we'll be able to look at those specifically to talk about what our storm threats will be as we go into the day on Wednesday. And it's a great idea to be weather aware and be prepared before the severe thunderstorms move into the East Texas area. Let's talk about what we've been dealing with today. We've had some off and on showers. They've been rather isolated in their coverage here and really not finding a whole lot for us now. A lot of the precipitation is gradually letting up, so we will see that also come to an end here in the next, say, 1 to 2 hours. But looking down over parts of southeast Texas, very heavy rain has been impacting areas near Houston, back toward the Austin area, southeast Texas as well. They've had some flash flooding issues across that area. As a matter of fact, I want to give you a live look right now. This is courtesy of KPRC in the Houston area. Look at that standstill traffic coming right through Midtown and downtown Houston. Many folks probably usually at home by this particular point, but they are dealing with some very intense rainfall, and notice a lot of the cars with their flashers on, their emergency flashers on, and that's because of that heavier rain. They've had several flash flood warnings in that area. Not a lot in terms of severe weather, but heavy rain in a low-lying spot, and because of all the rain that we've received, certainly has caused some saturated roadways, and that's of course leading to some of that flooding concern. The threat for flooding for them certainly will remain high, just like it will remain for us over the next few days because of all the rain that we've picked up, especially in the last 2 weeks. Let me give you a look at what we're also tracking for you. So that's over southeast Texas, but we're also keeping tabs on some heavier thunderstorms moving through the Texas Panhandle. This is a widespread severe weather alert across parts of West Texas. You notice several tornado watch boxes that are in effect, one coming out of Colorado into New Mexico. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tornado watch boxes in effect for this location. Supercell-like thunderstorms are ongoing here. Our sister stations out in West Texas over in Amarillo and the Lubbock area have been tracking these thunderstorms as they've been forming during the course of this afternoon. Large hail is going to be a big concern here with those storms, but again, the threat for a tornado will exist, which is why they're under those multiple tornado watches going all the way through this evening and even into early on Wednesday morning. Here's what we've been seeing on live Doppler radar just in the last 3 hours. You can notice areas of black showing up within the reflectivity. That's an indication that we've had some large hail occur within these storms, and they've also been rotating too. But this is a higher elevation, the land more flat, so you're easily able to see a little bit more of what's happening with these storms. So storm spotters have been in this area keeping an eye on what's been taking place here during the course of this afternoon. Will continue on through this evening for us. But look at the severe threat overnight tonight across parts of West Texas. It is a moderate risk. One of the first times they've had it in a while, a moderate risk to see severe weather across parts of the Texas Panhandle. An enhanced risk goes all the way down toward Midland, stretches up to near Oklahoma City, and the slight risk, meaning a few isolated severe storms possible into early tomorrow morning, stretches all the way down to the Texas and the Mexico border. Now, back to our weather, we have a chance of seeing some strong to severe thunderstorms here as we move into tomorrow. The Storm Prediction Center for us has our region and an enhanced risk. This encompasses nearly all of the East Texas area, and for the very small locations that are not under the enhanced risk, parts of Hopkins County and parts of Toledo Bend Country, you're in the slight risk, which means the chance for severe thunderstorms will exist as we move into tomorrow. So it's going to be so important to make sure that we are going to be weather aware. Look at our threats as we move into our Wednesday. Damaging wind gusts will be one of our major concerns as a line of storms comes in on Wednesday morning into the afternoon. Cannot rule out a couple of tornadoes. Our environment will be a bit favorable for it. We're not expecting a huge tornado outbreak, but cannot rule out 1 or 2 of those storms that could try to rotate and maybe lead to a brief tornado that could try to form. I think the hail threat overall will stay low because we're not looking at supercell-like thunderstorms, at least at this point, but we'll keep an eye on that. And then the flooding threat, right now, I have it in the medium category, a surplus amount of rain that we have dealt dealt with over the last several weeks. Certainly will not take a lot of water for us to get some minor flooding on area roadways, so that's something to keep in mind and be prepared for as we move into the day tomorrow. Let's go over to the weather wall. We're going to take a look at FUTURECAST as we are in that severe weather alert as we go into tomorrow. So I want to first start with 4 a.m. as we look at FUTURECAST for us. So here we are tomorrow morning. We have cloudy skies as we begin the day here in East Texas. A couple of showers might be possible, but not expecting anything overly major for us here, at least at this point. Now by about 5 a.m., a couple of showers will start to pick on up. Now we'll stop the clock at 7 a.m. for us on tomorrow morning. We're looking at a few showers and thunderstorms that will be forming. Our main focus is going to be this line of thunderstorms. So if you have to travel back toward the Metroplex, the threat for some severe weather there certainly is going to be on that elevated to high status. At the very least, very heavy rain will make the commute very tricky going into work, just like what we just showed you with those live pictures from Houston not too long ago. Let's fast forward in time. We get to about 8 o'clock. That line crossing out of the Metroplex and about to move into our far western areas. So areas like Henderson, Van Zandt, Rains, Hopkins County, you will be first in line to see these thunderstorms as they move through. Now you do notice some individual cells trying to get going ahead of the main line. At times the models are going to try to show this. I'm not expecting a whole lot before this main line moves in, especially just 1 or 2 hours after daybreak. But if some of these can form, we have to watch those closely because they can display signs of supercell characteristics, meaning that we could see maybe some rotation that could try to form in those thunderstorms. 10 o'clock, we get a little bit of heating ahead of that line, so these could actually start to intensify just a bit more. Some of these storms along the leading edge. So FUTURECAST shows that across parts of our central counties from near Jacksonville over toward Longview and Henderson. Some more also trying to form as well north of Interstate 20, also in parts of Wood County, perhaps all the way up over into Morris County. But again, the main focus is going to be this line of thunderstorms that will be moving in. Damaging wind gusts will be our #1 concern with this line as it works its way through. This is 11 a.m. as we still look at some moderate to heavier rainfall to come through. Gusty and strong winds will be noted here. We get to about the noon hour and we're still looking at some pockets of heavier rain. Now, as we get into the afternoon, we're going to lose some of the weather dynamics that will be associated with this push of thunderstorms that'll move in. So it will start to break apart. That's when we turn to the instability, the daytime heating that we're expecting to see, especially over our southern areas into the afternoon hours. That's going to help keep these storms continuing to move on, even though our weather dynamics are lifting more to the north and to the northeast, essentially away from East Texas. We get to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're still dealing with some rounds of very heavy rain along that leading edge from near Linden over toward Atlanta, stretching all the way down toward Rusk, Alto, not too far from Wells, down over parts of southern Anderson County, entering parts of the Houston County area, not too far from Crockett. Now you notice the storms start to break apart just a little bit more. A lot more clouds, but still the potential of some strong to severe thunderstorms that will remain. Our severe threat, as far as that main line, will begin to decrease just a tad, but we could still see a few strong thunderstorms that could try to form into the early evening hours, perhaps even into the overnight. And until a cold front can arrive on Thursday, rain chances will still remain at a good possible to a likely category. This is Thursday morning at 5 a.m. We're still looking at some showers that'll be around. Cold front will start to move in into the afternoon on Thursday. You'll notice just a couple of showers. That's what the latest computer model runs indicate, but I think we could have even a few strong thunderstorms that might try to form across parts of the deep East Texas area on Thursday. So we'll be watching for you closely on Thursday as we could see a few strong thunderstorms that will be a possibility. Let me show you a couple of our other graphics. These are some of the things that we might not show you on actual during the air broadcast on KETK or Fox 51, but these are so helpful for us to understand what could happen in the atmosphere as we move toward this time. So first of all, I want to show you is the rotation potential. This is where we have the possibility of storms that could exhibit signs of rotation, how it will be possible as we go into the day on Wednesday. Notice how that threat is going to be a lot higher across parts of central Texas as those storms begin to roll on in. But as we get toward 9 to 10 a.m., we're in the areas of orange and even some darker oranges. So we're kind of in that likely to almost a very likely stage. This doesn't mean that we will see all storms rotating. That's not what this is definitely noting. But what it is showing is that the potential of rotation in East Texas will exist as that line moves in. And look at this. It ramps up a bit more as we get daytime heating midday and into the afternoon. And perhaps even parts of deep East Texas could even see some stronger to severe storms late in the afternoon because of that rotation that will come through. How about storm strength? How strong these storms are going to be as they work their way into our area, where we're looking for areas of turquoise blue. That's where we're going to see some of the strongest areas of storm strength to come on in. So you'll notice the path of this as it works its way through our area, that the storm strength is expected to remain relatively high. And that's why we're really concerned about that potential of some strong damaging wind that could occur within some of these thunderstorms. Let me jump to another product to show you. This is our lightning forecast. As we go into the day on Wednesday, there is going to be a lot of lightning, likely to have power outages. So if you're watching us on the mobile app, you're already doing a great thing by having that. If you're watching on the website, good idea to go ahead and download our East Texas Storm Team app and our KETK mobile app to be able to track these storms in the event that you do lose power at home and your cable or satellite or your antenna just might go out because of power loss. So lightning is going to be a big concern for us again at this point as we continue on into our Wednesday period, going into Wednesday afternoon as well. Even as we move into Wednesday night going into Thursday, looks like our threat will still remain for lightning to also occur here within this thunderstorm for us. One other thing I do want to show you is the potential of us seeing some what's called our instability. Instability also is expected to pick up a bit more too as we get toward this point. So we definitely want to keep an eye on what could take place there regarding that instability. Let me pull this in real quick, and I do want to be able to show you exactly what we could be seeing, and we're going to look at this in terms of FUTURECAST regarding the radar for us as well at this particular moment. So let me fast forward this in time just a tad, that way we can get started with it first thing in the morning. And what I want to show you is how strong these storms are expected to be as they roll through into the daytime hours for us. So there we go. Let me put this into motion for us here. So this is FUTURECAST instability and radar. So just a little bit of heating in the atmosphere. It won't take a whole lot for us to actually see these storms begin to get going. You'll notice as we move through time that these storms really start to intensify even more once they get some daytime heating into the afternoon. So areas across parts of deep East Texas will be in greater line to see some additional heating of the day to lead to some of these stronger thunderstorms that can get going as we move toward this period. So we're going to have to keep an eye on things relatively closely as that strong thunderstorm threat will still remain here over our area. Let's go back over to the 9-pack. I want to look at the severe threats for us here once again. There you can notice that our threats as we move into our Wednesday again will be damaging wind gusts. That will be one of our #1 concerns here in our area. And also we're looking at the threat for some heavy rain that could lead to some additional flooding. So we want to be weather cautious regarding that because we've had so much rain come down here over the last little bit. And it just doesn't take a whole lot for us to be dealing with, perhaps that could lead to some minor flooding concerns for us. Again, the threat for a tornado or two certainly cannot be ruled out. We can't discount that as well. The threat for a tornado certainly cannot be completely ruled out, and the potential for some large hail could also occur as well. Let's go ahead and talk about the overall summary of what to expect as we move into tomorrow. So as we get toward daybreak, your timing for us here tomorrow morning, a couple of isolated showers and a few thunderstorms will be possible for us. I'm not expecting the morning time frame to be on that severe side. However, I can't rule out one or two of the storms that could turn on the strong to severe side. Now, as we get into the morning hours, we will likely be placed under some sort of severe weather watch. I just think that's anticipated for us because of all the weather dynamics that we will have here over the East Texas area. Into the afternoon, midday and afternoon, strong to severe thunderstorms are expected to increase. Again, our main concern is going to be a line of thunderstorms that come into our area for us on our Wednesday midday period and picking up into the afternoon. But we will keep an eye on some individual cells, perhaps that could try to form relatively early, where we could see that threat for us to have maybe some rotating thunderstorms as well. Moving into Wednesday evening and Wednesday night, there will be some additional periods of rain and thunderstorms to come through. Not everybody will see precipitation Wednesday night going into early Thursday morning, but the chance of it will still be there as as we move into this period. So it's just going to be a fairly active next several days regarding our precipitation chances for us. And we're certainly looking at the potential of us to have a lot of rainfall that will come through our area. Let's take this graphic full just so people can kind of get a general overview on what to expect as we move into this period. So again, tomorrow morning, most areas are expected to be okay, but we could be dealing with some moderate to heavier showers that will pick up as we move toward midday and into the afternoon. And that threat for strong to severe thunderstorms will remain here in the East Texas area. And by the way, the rain chances are expected to continue over the next few days, as our storms will certainly still remain a good probability for us here going all the way through the weekend. It's a good idea to make sure you download the East Texas Storm Team app. It's so important to make sure that you have weather alerts right there at your fingertips. You can track those thunderstorms as they move through your area for tomorrow. Get lightning alerts and storm alerts, not just for your location, but for multiple spots, maybe for you here and maybe for your family member that lives maybe several miles away or so. Always good to have those. You can share your photos and video, live Doppler radar right there, as well as FUTURECAST, and of course the latest forecast from us here at the East Texas Storm Center. Hey, thanks for taking time to join us here on our digital stream. We're going to be keeping tabs on the thunderstorms. We're going to get some new model data later this evening. We'll be able to provide that for you coming up tonight on Fox 51 News at 9 and on KETK News at 10. But it's so important just to make sure that you're weather aware. We are in the heart of severe weather season. We've had several tornadoes already hit our area so far this season, and it only takes one for it to do any type of devastation and damage. And even if we don't get a tornado, damaging wind gusts can easily cause just as equal of a weak EF0 tornado that could touch down. So make sure you have a plan. Make sure you review that plan with your family, and before severe weather strikes, review that so that when severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings are issued, that way you already know what to do when that weather is moving into your area. All right, thanks for taking time to join us here this evening. We will have an update for you tonight on KETK and on Fox 51 News, and we'll provide you with more of the latest updates over at our website at easttexasmatters.com. Have a good evening.